Hey there, we're Tali and Ophira Edut, identical twins and astrologers. Welcome to AstroTwins Radio, where we bring the stars down to Earth. August is here, and it has as many twists and turns and backspins as the entire world's Olympic gymnastics teams. So here we go. It's Ophi. I'm here with your monthly horoscope for August 2024. What a month ahead. It's an exciting month because it's going to end with the release of our book, The Astrology Advantage, which I have been podcasting up a storm. You're going to hear all of those at the end of the month and in September, but we're so excited. Our 21st book, it's a hardcover, and it has the I Am system, which if you follow us on Instagram, you've been seeing us share about. We've mashed up the best of astrology and a personality test, your favorite personality test, into a very simple system that takes your entire chart. And, I was describing it like taking the produce aisle and putting it in your juicer and coming out with a glass of green juice that you can easily drink and consume. That is what we've done with your astrological chart. And we're so excited. So I'll be telling you about that in a very special event on August 8th. But first, let's get into this crazy month ahead. Crazy fun, I hope, too. Just a lot. We've got Mercury retrograde, Gatorade, haterade, whatever you want to call it, all the bad jokes. But Mercury, the planet of communication, travel, transportation, and technology, is taking another backwards turn, splitting between Virgo and Leo on August 5th until the 28th. So back up your computers, your devices, your data, your photos, your videos. Watch who you're texting, sexting, all the things, because Mercury can wreak havoc on your electronic devices and communications when it makes its backspin. What's happening is it's passing the Earth in its orbit. And if you've ever been in a car when you've driven by another one going at different speeds and it looked like one of the vehicles was going backwards, that kind of optical illusion effect is what happens when Mercury passes the Earth 3 to 4 times a year and goes what's called retrograde. It literally would look like we measure the journey of a planet in degrees. So it progresses 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Well, when it goes retrograde, it starts to count backwards. So it's going to go backwards in Virgo from August 5th to 14th, which is going to make people really fussy and persnickety and fault-finding. But it's a good time to edit. Retrogrades are very good for looking back at the past and making sure that you are not missing key details or information. They say not to sign contracts. Pretty good advice. You can't always avoid it, but make sure you quadruple check all the docs. And August 14th to 28th, Mercury is going backwards in Leo. So we have some drama, a little extra drama. I'm wondering if that is going to be the conclusive moment with our Leo-Leo couple, Bennifer, that we've been tracking. So we may see something there, especially around the Aquarius full moon. That's the gymnastics day that I'm going to get into in a minute. But first, August 8th. The Lion's Gate, when the Sun, the Earth, Sirius, and Orion all meet up, all line up. We call it your spiritual new year. So if 1/1 is new year for your goals, this is new year for your souls, because Sirius, the brightest visible star from Earth, is also known as the spiritual sun. And we're actually going to be doing a special workshop. Yes, this podcast is going to have a few shameless plugs because it's not every day that you launch a book. Your very first hardcover was something this exciting. We're so excited about the Astrology Advantage. So we're doing something very special. And we don't want you to miss your opportunity to win a trip to San Francisco to meet me and Tali. We're going to hang out on the rooftop, weather permitting, of astrology.com's headquarters. You're going to get a night in San Francisco, a live astrology chart reading with us, lunch or dinner and good times and laughs and hanging out. So everyone who joins us for this special event on August 8th to open up the Lion's Gate and learn the new rules of success, that's what it's all about, will be entered into this contest, into this giveaway. So I'll have the link in the show notes. Would love to see you there. It's on Zoom. 7 o'clock Eastern, August 8th. It will be recorded, and we are going to talk about the new rules for success and how to start to activate them, how to align your goals with your soul. Because let's face it, guys, it's not working the old way. One of the things I've been really hearing as I'm doing all these interviews about the astrology advantage is just how frustrated people are, like truly in pain, and from trying to fit themselves into this one size fits all model of success that we're still trying to perpetuate in the world. So there's all these people who are like secretly using spiritual technology like astrology, tarot, numerology, human design, pick your poison, but they're all using it, but then not telling anyone about it, or they're all trying to act like they, are on top of everything, but feeling desperately behind. Gone are the days, I guess, during the pandemic when your kid would race behind you on the Zoom call if you were a remote worker. It has left us with some better situations, a little more flexibility with remote work for some people if you have that kind of job. But still, there's such deep dissatisfaction for people around how they're trying to do life, whether it's work, relationships, parenting, anything like that. So we are going to do a ritual and also some really great tailored to your birth chart exercises to help you let go of those old models of success and craft a new script for that. So we're really excited. That's what we are dedicating August to. That's what our Mercury retrograde recalibration is going to be all about. Let's do what works, guys. Let's create a new world. It's up to us to design. So we have the biggest day of the month is August 19th. So prior to that, August 14th, we've got Mars and Jupiter coming together. This happens every couple years. Mars is go, go, go. Jupiter is also expands. And, sometimes it happens once a year or every 2 years, depending on if Mars is retrograde and if they meet up. But these are two of the most impatient planets, and they're going to be in Gemini, the sign of communication, pretty much together all month, but exactly together on August 14th, the day that Mercury retrograde backs out of Virgo into Leo. So that day is a big one for, you're going to really want to get a message out there and speak your mind and speak your truth or share your opinions. Gemini is very opinionated, and Mercury retrograde is going to be like, whoa, 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 hold on, really think about how you say it. And Mars and Jupiter together, Jupiter's so outspoken, are going to be just, forget it. I'll beg forgiveness instead of asking permission. So not recommended. Find a way to get your big passionate idea out of your head, put it on paper, leave yourself a voice note, whatever, but maybe don't send it out to the world yet, because that could end up being something that you really regret. So, but big ideas are going to happen. So back to August 19th, that happens to be the Democratic National Convention date, but it's also the Aquarius full moon and a day when we have not one, but two T-squares. T-squares are three or more planets in a tug of war. If you remember what a right triangle looks like from your geometry class in high school, two 90-degree angles, that's what a T-square is. It's three or more planets all in this dual in three different directions. So two of the planets are opposite, and then three of them are in a square 90 degrees. So these are all angles of tension, and they when planets lock into oppositions and squares in astrology is very mathematical. It's not, it's not this fluffy thing that people may think it is. We measure planets by degrees, and so these can bring us to turning points or breaking points. When you stretch a rubber band as far as you can, it's either going to snap or the elastic is going to soften and become more pliable. So it's like that's the feeling, like stretched to the brink of what you can and can't sustain, to pull things in different directions. It's time to compromise. So we have all these heated politics happening. I think, the Mars and Jupiter conjunction 5 days before this full moon are going to bring a lot of issues. Gemini can bring gossip and information out. A lot of mudslinging I'm expecting all month long. It's already going, but mid-month, let's see what happens with everyone's much talked about Leo vice presidential candidate nominee for Trump, J.D. Vance. So Mercury is going retrograde in Leo. That's his sign. So on August 14th, the same day as that Mars-Jupiter conjunction. So that already is going to be quite something. And in Gemini, which is Donald Trump's sign and Kamala Harris's rising sign, maybe she's, this, I don't know. But I don't know what's going to happen that day, but it's going to be a busy day in your news feed. So then we get to August 19th. And I know this is a lot of astro info, but I can't help it. I'm just reporting. I don't make this stuff up. It's what the stars are doing, and they have decided to cause a cosmic traffic jam on August 19th under the full moon. So we've got 2 T-squares, one fixed, one mutable. The fixed signs are Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, and Scorpio. And those are what they sound like, rooted, rigid, kind of set in their ways, stubbornly fixed. So we have the Aquarius full moon. It's opposite the sun, always at the full moon, and then Mercury retrograde in Leo. So here's Aquarius, the humanitarian, the bring everyone together. It rules politics. It rules groups. We've got the DNC. It would normally be a good day for a political convention. Not saying it won't be, but nobody's getting out of answering the tough questions. Mercury retrograde in Leo, opposite that. So people are going to be divided between like what is good for the greater good of our society versus very intense single issue voters in the Leo dramatic Mercury retrograde. And in the middle of those two is, in that T-square, is Uranus and Taurus. So Uranus is the disruptor, but Taurus is the staunch, stubborn resistor of change. We've had Uranus and Taurus since 2017, briefly settled in for the long haul 2018 to 26. So we are in the middle of this shakeup in society. Uranus does not like being in Taurus because Uranus is all about change and Taurus is all about keeping things the same and consistency. So they have been in this strange bedfellows relationship now. And here we are. Next year, Uranus is going to pop out of Taurus for a little while and go into Gemini. So we're going to get a sneak preview of its next 7 or 8 year cycle. But it's in Taurus now, splitting the difference between the full moon and Mercury retrograde. So, I hope everybody's very careful. Uranus can make people act erratic, and Lord knows we do not need an RNC part 2 with the terrible things that happen there. So please heighten that security, Team USA. Now, there are 4 fixed signs, but in a T-square, one of them is not part of the equation. So we kind of look to that missing sign to settle out the tension as sort of the mediator. So the missing sign is Scorpio. Interestingly, that's Joe Biden's sign. So his involvement at the full moon and in the DNC is going to be very critical, very key. But Scorpio in general, the energy is really, it's very much about quietly observing. So people are going to be loudmouth, Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, not shy about expressing an opinion. Scorpios, kind of quiet wisdom is probably missing from this, very much needed. So that is where we should look. Now, in your I know it seems like the election is all, the election and the Olympics, what else is there? Oh, your life. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about how that T-square, the first T-square, might affect you. So you may be pulled between the needs of the group, your work, that's Taurus and Uranus, money, and just your own quote unquote selfish needs. How much do you step into the spotlight? How much do you acquiesce and let everybody shine? What's worth fighting for? That's what this fixed T-square, choosing your battles, is the theme. So on that same day, it's enough that there is a T-square. Like usually that's rare in and of itself. But there's another one happening the same day. And it is in the mutable signs, which are the communicators. So you can bet that whatever drama is going down, there's going to be people talking about it. And so this is between Jupiter, Saturn, and Venus. Jupiter and Saturn are squaring each other. Venus is in the middle. We've got Jupiter in Gemini, which is also an uncomfortable place for Jupiter, because Jupiter is about like the big ideas and the big picture, and Gemini is all about the minutiae and the little details. So our minds are going to be spinning on all of these things, and it's squaring Saturn in Pisces. So also an uncomfortable place, because Saturn's about boundaries and Pisces about boundarylessness. So how much do we hide? How much do we tell? And then Venus, which is about peace, in Virgo, which is wedged in between them. So Venus and Virgo is going to try to play mediator. Jupiter is about expansion. Saturn's about contraction. So it's like, do we go big? Do we just put it all out there? Do we say it? Or do we keep some things to ourselves? It's going to be, I think, overall the directive is like maybe the less you say, the better, but some things are going to be unavoidable. They're just going to come out in the open, whether you want them to or not. That's all, pretty much the entire vibe of August. But on August 19th, really just, hopefully you've done your Mercury retrograde backups, because data leakage is gonna be in effect. It's going to be in effect, and you want to make sure that you don't have anything that you want that can get into the wrong hands, or texts, or shares. So now this Jupiter-Saturn square is really important, because it is the quarter point of a 20-year cycle. If you remember, on December 21st, 2020, there was the great conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn. They called it the Christmas star in the news and made a whole big deal out of it. What was really happening was that Jupiter and Saturn were at the same point in the sky in Aquarius. So they looked like one huge shining star, but they're both visible in the sky. So they were overlapping from our viewpoint on Earth. So it looked like this super bright star, was coming to beam us all up. It's just astronomy. Here I am, the astrologer, being, like raining on your magical parade. But that's true. That's what it was. They were just on top of each other from our point of view, obviously, gazillions of miles away from each other in space. But who's counting? It's what we see when we look up. So every 20 years, they form a great conjunction, and then they move apart. So every 4 or 5 years, they hit the quarter point. So we're at what's called the opening square, sort of like the opening ceremony of the Olympics, but not. Really, I think the great conjunction was more the opening ceremony of the Olympics. But this is the first square, the first 90-degree square. So first they come together, they open the gates, they usher us into the age of Aquarius in December 2020, and then they start to move apart. And now they are at this reckoning point where it's like, how much is enough? How much is too much? How much is not enough? How can we use our resources better? How can we do better at talking to each other, not being polarized? I mean, Jupiter and Gemini and Saturn and Pisces. Gemini and Pisces are both dual signs. It's two fish, and the twins are the symbols. So I would venture to say that our world has probably never been more divided, and that we're gonna really see. This is a progress report, what we did right and what we need to adjust and recalibrate. So sorry, Democrats, but your convention is hosting all of this. And it's just how it is. It's like I said, did aliens time this? Because it's just a little too uncanny. So at the 10-year mark, 2030, we're going to have Jupiter and Saturn opposite each other. And then 4 or 5 years after that, the closing square, and then another great conjunction, 2040-ish. So, and then we'll start all over again. So that is all coming to a head on August 19th. This is a very astro-y monthly podcast. I try my best to bring it into the vernacular for the people, because I know that some of you listening are amazing astrologers, but I don't want you to have to be an astrologer to understand this. So thanks for bearing with me. And when you read your monthly horoscope on Astro Style, we translate it much better for your sign. So how to digest all of this? Well, let's give a kind of an overview, very rough overview. Fire signs: Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This is a time to reevaluate your priorities, your values, your structures, your systems. Really streamline your processes. The fire signs can make things extra and complicated, and you love everything to be very as big as it could possibly be. Excuse me. You're going to want to really stick with the essentials now. Like, what can you humanly do this month, and know your limits, but what is going to have the best impact? What's going to get your message, your name, your ideas out there? Make a mark so that in September you can come back around and be like, okay, I'm ready for the show, ready to put on the real show. So really just get everything tweaked for yourself so that you are clear on your messaging and what you're really after here. If you are an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, definitely just, this is a good time to actually tweak up your image, tweak up how you present yourself, and then take a little bit of a break in the second half of the month. Conserve your energy, do some emotional processing, get away to water if you can, or, just make sure you have lots of support. You tend to be the provider and the rock for everybody. This is a month, especially the second half of the month, where you need to cash in on some of that support that you've given everybody. I think I told you this a little earlier this summer too, but once again, it's really time to do that, to make sure that you are getting your inner and emotional and spiritual needs self-fed and watered. Air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Start of the month, first half of the month, you have the more emotional work, inner stuff, connecting with family. You don't always love to deal with your feelings. It's kind of annoying for you. You want to be out there having fun, not doing all that heavy stuff. But if you don't deal with that, it just kind of clogs up the drain. So do that. And in the second half of the month, partnerships are really on the table. So who are the people on your team? Team Gemini, Team Libra, Team Aquarius. Who are the best collaborators? Who do you need to say something to? Is there a partnership, or it could be a friendship, it could be colleagues. It's something that just a dynamic that's not working anymore. Like, get that out in the open, talk about it, hash it out, put in what's working, what can make it work better. So you whether that's, better a regular schedule for checking in, or date nights if you're a couple, or just a better way of communicating with each other that works for both of you, not just one of you or neither of you. That would be ideal. And now our water signs, first half of the month, like reconnect with old friends, colleagues, people from your past who were great synergistic souls and allies. And then in the second half of the month, focus on your money and practical. Get that back to school work going. Get that underway, because you're going to want to really just be ready for September to put yourself out there, and you're going to be very busy. So if you have too much going on, if your schedule's cluttered up, if you've got too many expenses and you're not, too many things you're not using, it's kind of annoying. But take that financial planning app on your phone to the pool and just go through, or just deal with some of the practical unfinished work. You'll feel so much lighter when you catch up. Make sure you delegate too. Don't try to hold up the world on your shoulders. It's really important that you also show other people how to do it. You can't always be the one, water signs, who has to do it all yourself. Well, you don't have to if you show people how to help you and how to give you what you need. So don't try to pull that martyr act and then go resenting us, the rest of us, because we didn't know how to help you perfectly. Okay, we're here. We're just waiting for you to ask. So there's a lot more in August, but that's a whole lot to process. So really, the most important date is August 27th, if you ask me, because that is, once again, when the Astrology Advantage book will be unleashed in the world. But please, we would love you if you would pre-order your copy now, because it helps us. It shows our publisher that people want the book. And it also allows us to give you some awesome bonus gifts, including our PDF, the 84 types. So did you know there are actually 84 possible combinations of fire, earth, air, and water, the elements, and innovator, authority, maven, as we've renamed the qualities, cardinal, fixed, and mutable. So you have one archetype, and we've given it a name. I'm a water innovator, the tide turner. If you're an air innovator, you're a wind shifter. So we have names, special names, and short descriptions for every single one of those combinations. And people are really loving looking theirs up, looking up their coworkers, their family members. You get that right away. The actual Astrology Advantage book doesn't come out till August 27th, but you will instantly get the download of the 84 types, and you can go and already calculate your whole I am, or your I am diagram, as we call it, and find out what your special type, your archetype is. And it's so much fun, just like it's fun to know your Enneagram or your human design or your Myers-Briggs. It's the same thing, but astrological. And best of all, you don't have to take a quiz. All you need is exactly what you need for your birth chart, your time, date, and place of birth. And it just turns your chart into a handy spreadsheet instead of the wheel with all the hieroglyphics that are really hard to memorize. And, learning your astrological chart that way is a beautiful lifelong experience. And we have had a blast teaching people that. We just finished up our Become Your Own Astrologer course. We're going to do it again in 2025. It was amazing. We did 2 8-week courses and taught people how to read their birth charts. And we're certifying people to be astrologers from what they learned. I mean, talk about mind-blown emoji, eye-opening things. So we fully encourage you to dive into the bottomless depths of astro geekery and learn your chart. But simultaneously, sometimes you just want it right at your fingertips. You just want to know what you are. So the I am system that is in the Astrology Advantage uses what are called the chart dominants. Are you mostly fire, earth, air, or water? cardinal, fixed, or mutable, and it shows you the proportions. It's so eye-opening. For example, I have 6 cardinal sign planets, innovator, 4 authority, fixed, and 3 maven, mutable. So even though I'm a Sagittarius, which is a mutable sign, I have the least amount of that in my chart. I actually have 6 innovator cardinal sign planets. And even though Sagittarius is a fire sign, and I am a fire sign, I have 5 water sign planets in my chart. So I'm a water dominant innovator, which is like a Cancer. So you can find that out too. So it may and likely will explain to you why, even though you resonate with your sun sign, I mean, I'm a Sag through and through. Your sun sign is the main character in the movie of your life. You are your sun sign. But the essential quality of who you are, the way, kind of your modes, your way of doing life is determined by those chart dominants. And you can find that in less than 30 seconds by plugging your time, date, and place of birth into our IM calculator. You can already go to astrostyle.com/IAM. And yes, we did that on purpose. And find out what you are and what it means. You'll be shocked probably if you see, oh my God, I have no water, or I'm very low on fire. Oh, look at that. I've got 9 Earth planets. So people are having all these epiphanies and aha moments. And so it's basically a whole new division of AstroStyle that we're launching with this, because we are going to be helping people find satisfaction with their work and relationships, do better with communication and decision making and teamwork. It's an astrological antidote to all the struggles that people are having with modern life that are making you want to quit your job, or just tap out of things, or just feel like, how can I have a relationship where I can really just be who I am, and still keep my partner happy, or partners, or whatever, but not at my own expense? Or how can I parent but still also be me and feel fulfilled? All of those questions. Who am I compatible with? How can I be good to the people in my life without sacrificing who I am? So love using astrology to do that. So please come on over and order the Astrology Advantage and join us for the Lionsgate on 8/8. The book itself, it's a hardcover, it's $33, and you will be entered to win a reading and get our 84 types right away. The Lionsgate tickets are $88. That includes hardcover, a special Lionsgate report, and a chance to win a trip to San Francisco, as well as the 84 types, and a special workshop to learn the new rules of success and start scripting them into your life immediately. Imagine going into fall, leaving that old draining way behind, and truly having a simple system to just do your job, or change your job, or do your life in a way that works for you. So often we change partners, we change jobs, we change homes, we change anything we can, hairstyles, whatever, but we keep ending up in the same place because we're changing the wrong things. What we need to change and stop doing is making ourselves wrong, trying to live a life or fit a mold that wasn't designed for us. So come and find, at the very least, what your I am archetype is, and see if it resonates. And the book is chock full of very, very practical, tactical advice for how to apply it in every area of your life. So we just want you to have that owner's and operator's guide that you can use anytime. You don't have to become an astrologer to get the advantages of astrology. So get the book ASAP, and hey, help us maybe even make it a bestseller. We're playing that game because we're innovators and we're a little competitive even with ourselves. So, but more than anything, get it for you, because we want you to have that advantage yourself as we go into this crazy, crazy fall. So come check out your monthly horoscope for your sign at AstroStyle. Follow us on Instagram at AstroTwins because Tali's doing a lot of really fun election and Olympics coverage that you guys are really enjoying, and we love hearing from you. And go forth and back up your data because Mercury retrograde is coming to town. See you everywhere that the AstroTwins are, which is, kind of everywhere now. And may your August be an Olympic gold, no matter how many backflips you have to do to get to the end of it. As always, thanks for listening. You can discover more of your star power at astrocell.com, and be sure to follow us on social at AstroTwins. Thanks to Camellia Jade for the music for this podcast. Join us next time for more cosmic fun.